guys, it's Trashy or Millie, wherever you want to call me. I have like a really small audience on Instagram or Twitter, and this is my first YouTube video I'm posting, so you probably found me on there unless this video blows up. I don't know why it would, but I just been wanting to get into making for YouTube content for a while, just to kind of honestly give me an excuse to wear my suit more. In a way, I'm comfortable, because I'm not comfortable yet with public suiting, which I do really want to do, but I don't know, I'm just not comfortable with it yet, and I don't like just throwing on my fursuit for pictures. I paid a lot of money for this thing. I'd like to use it a little bit more, so I thought, why not YouTube videos? I could talk to a camera and get really hot in my fursuit head really fast, apparently. I thought I'd make a video about how I became a furry, but it's not really a how, it's just more kind of how I found out I was a furry. And I've heard a lot of like furry like joining the fandom stories before, and I've never really related to any of them. And I just thought that I could share my story, and if anyone else felt like they didn't really connect with anyone else's story, well, maybe they could connect with mine. So I kind of just tell people I was always a furry, and that's because when I was a little kid, all the other girls would play with like Polly Pockets, Barbie, all that. I mean, they played with My Little Pony and Little Pet Shop too, like I did, but I exclusively played with animal toys like Little's Pet Shop, My Little Pony, and like, the little generic plastic animal figures you see at the dollar store and stuff. I absolutely would not play with human toys. I did want Bratz dolls, like that was the one exception, but I never even got any. So I grew up playing exclusively with animal toys and making them like their own characters with their own like personalities. And then I got into Lil's Pet Shop YouTube when I was young, and that's where they make like short little video clips and stuff, them playing with the little pet shops, and they make like little stories and little movies. And the pet shops have like, they're their own characters, so they were like people. And then I got into the Warrior Cats community, and then it just became a whole spiral. And one weird thing, ever since I was a kid, I had these grapefruits in the back of my house, in like the back of our backyard, and I didn't have a phone or anything to play with as a kid. It was like the early 2000s, so I would grab these grapefruits, and I actually have a bowl. I can this'll come up later, but I would just walk around the backyard doing that, envisioning stories in my head. And then slowly the stories started to change to just envisioning me in life, but stories about me in life that yet happened. But I was a wolf in the stories, and everyone else was like dog people. But we weren't like anthro furries, we were like ferals, but like with anthro personalities. I was a wolf at first, and I remember like concentrating so hard in my head. I'd be like, all right, stare at your hair. Okay, this is her fur color. This is her fur color. And then in about 7th grade, I thought, you know what? I think cat suits me better. And then I did the same thing. And to this day, I've always made my Sona just match me as accurately as possible. Like, look at my skin and be like, all right, this is her color. And so like my persona is like an all blonde cat with like kind of blondish skin, because I don't know, this would be a weird like fur color. I mean, this is kind of as close as I could get. And then blonde hair, because I have blonde hair under this, and she has brown eyes because I have brown eyes. And yeah, so that's how I pictured her. At this point, she was still feral, and I didn't know what furries were. And I started to picture myself as her. I would toss this ball around to myself. At this point, I had moved out of that house, and I had this ball. Then I stopped doing it in the backyard, start doing it in my room, and I still do it in my room. It's like the weirdest little tick I have. I'll listen to music and just go ham, picturing scenarios in my head, like throwing the ball, pacing around the room. It's a time. But that's like really what got me in my creative head to create all my furry character and a few others. I have a few others that I created. Doing that, I honestly could not tell you how I found the furry fandom. I don't even remember. I do remember seeing anthro personas for the first time. I was like, oh, people animals like on 2 feet. I have to picture them like this now, and it took a long time to adjust because for several years I was picturing myself as like this feral cat, but like I wanted to be part of the anthro community too. And this was around like late middle school, early high school. I just felt so happy to find a community of like people exactly like this. I was like, oh my god, I'm not the only one. Might be the only one who does that weird ball toss thing. Let me know if you do it too. But I was like, oh my god, I'm not the only one who like just sees myself as an animal in my head sometimes. And then I saw other people coming out with their stories, and they were more like, I never really pictured myself as an animal until I found the furry fandom. And I was just like, okay, well, I kind of just always pictured myself as an animal in my head. Not like that I think I'm an animal or anything, just like I would daydream about my life. And my head was like, how about you daydream about your life, but like in it, you're a wolf. You're still a wolf going to like school and everything, but like, nah, we don't need to picture you as a human. We don't play with humans, and the mind is playtime. So we're gonna play with you as a wolf, but like an anthro wolf. And then it became a cat, and then that's all I really have to say on it, I guess. Let me know if anyone else's experience was like this, because I'd be really curious to know, because I honestly have not heard any other stories of becoming or being a furry like this. It'd be really interesting to hear about. But alright, I am sweating my face off in this first head. Never talked as much in it. And I don't have anything else to say. So I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching my first video.